How is it going? How y'all doing? Welcome back to another episode of Popular by Purpose. You're here at Popular Hair Studio. I'm with my co-host Mo. Go ahead, Mo, tell him.
What's good? It's Mo, Show Sharp. Today we got a special guest I'm super excited for. Episode 2, Popular by Purpose. Somebody that some people, call him Kyler. Some people call him Stucky. Some people call him Kyler Stucky Mosley. For me, he's my quarterback. He's my point guard. You can call him all those names, but for me, it's Young Stuck. What's up, baby?
Young Stuck. What's up? Welcome, my boy. Welcome.
Man, how you doing?
I appreciate y'all having me, man. It's my first time in the barbershop, man. I'm glad to be here. Looks great.
The new
Looks
shop.
great.
I can't believe it's his first time in here. Honestly.
I didn't know that either.
Nah, that's honestly the biggest shocker. Nah, on the way here, he calls me. He's like, "Yo, I've never been to the new shop." I was like,
That's
what are you
crazy.
talking about?
When you said that earlier, I was like, what? When he said it, I was like, first time.
Yeah.
What you mean it's first time?
Welcome, kid. You know what I'm saying?
Welcome.
Feels good, man.
Welcome.
Feels like home.
How's Jacksonville?
It's good. It's good, man. The life there, living there is great. Just got hired full time, so climbing the coach's ladder and just enjoying the new city, man.
Nice. What's the new promotion?
So now I'm player development coach. So I was a GA for 2 years. Now I'm player development coach.
Congrats.
Yep.
That's what's up.
On the journey. Yo, so let me ask you real quick, because I got to go ahead and ask. So Mo said earlier that you cut your own hair.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and bring that from the beginning. How did Mo start cutting your hair, and how many years ago was that and all that?
So Mo started cutting my hair, it was probably like my 9th grade year, I think. I think it was my 9th grade year. Well, the end of my 9th grade. 10th grade, okay. Yeah, 10th grade. Before then, I was just getting like regular cuts, going to random barber shops, like sitting in random barbers' chairs, like getting cuts, just trying to get by, right? And then Mo used to try to test out cuts on us, right? So I started going to Mo. He was testing out cuts, and I'm like, yo, he's fire. Like, it's my guy. So I started back in the Mo Raj days, long time ago, probably 10th grade, like you said, and been locked in ever since.
Now I'm gonna say something. You're right. That's definitely true. He's not lying.
Okay.
He's not
What you
lying.
gotta say?
But I don't know if you remember. I just want to bring this up. When I first started cutting, I was good for a garage kid.
How old were you when you first started cutting?
Well, first
around
ever,
that time.
it was a long time. It was the 7th grade. But when I moved to this side of town, I didn't cut hair. My brother was cutting everybody's hair. And then I picked up the clippers again, like my junior year of high school, and which is when he was a sophomore. And I'm just curious if you remember this. I remember. Do you have an uncle that cuts hair or no?
I don't.
See?
No, what's this? Where are we going?
So listen,
I told you about
Where are we going? Yeah, no, wait. Give us the story. Give me the play-by-play. I already see where this is going.
I know you had these moments.
He lied to you.
How many times you seen your boy when you just got started, and they got a fresh ass cut, and you just looking at, hey yo, who cut you? He was like, I saw him at school. I was like, what else? He had a part and everything, right?
Dang.
I was like, and I can't do parts at the time, so I didn't do that. I didn't do
first
that.
time.
I was like, hey, you got a cut? He was like, well, my uncle is in town. He cut hair, so he just cut my hair.
To be fair though, my dad knows a lot of people in the city, or knows a lot of people that like do different jobs or whatever, and they come around a lot of times. He calls me their brother, so I call him my uncle. Yeah. So there's a chance.
I ain't gonna
it could
hold
have been one
you.
of those people.
That's a good defense.
I probably was right. I probably was like,
I just thought of that. I was
probably
like,
just didn't
yo.
want to hurt your feelings. Like, yo, my uncle would come over.
But let me tell you something. It didn't matter who cut your hair, because that shit was not how I could do it at the time. So I'm never gonna be this good. That was okay, man. Now look at him, you know what I'm saying? Look at this cut now.
You know.
Now, cause crispy, Mo was saying earlier that you cut your own hair while you're at home.
Yeah.
So how is that? While you're over there, like, well, technically this is home, but this is home Orlando. But we're talking about while you're at Jacksonville coaching.
So it started when I was overseas. I think I was in like, of all places, like Macedonia at the time. And I was like, I couldn't find a barber. Like, I'm like trying to find barbers on Instagram, and the places I go to, they don't know how to cut like black people hair, right? So I figured I'm just gonna buy some clippers and try to figure out how to cut. Like, I'm over here for a year. By the time I come home, I should be like decent at it, right? So my first couple of cuts was terrible, like bad.
On FaceTime with him, like, yo, when you gonna get a cut?
Like
I just cut my shit today.
I'm calling Mo. I'm like, yo, how do you do this? Like, how do I tape it, like do this, line myself up? I'm messing myself up like plenty of times. But by the time I came back, I was like serviceable. And then when I'm here, I always get cut by Mo. But when I moved to Jacksonville, I started really trying to do it again. And I got decent at it. I'm not like y'all, obviously.
What clippers you use?
I started with regular.
That's how we judge them. You hear? That's
wall
how we
clippers.
Okay, okay. Walls wall.
And
but Walls wall, even from Walmart. Walls wall.
From Walmart.
I like.
And then
hey, shout out Wall.
I ordered some wall clippers from like Amazon. Those ones are a little better. And then one of my coworkers, coaches that I coach with, he cuts hair like way better than I do. And he gave me one of his old clippers. They're like green. I don't know which kind of.
He's a coach over there now?
Yeah, he coaches at JU right now.
Does he cut like guys on the team? Or
he cuts guys on the team, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So you never let him cut you like
that? He cut me once, but I'd rather just cut myself. Yeah.
So he wasn't that sharp. He wasn't so sharp.
He's not like y'all, nah.
Nah, of course.
But he can cut.
But he can coach though.
He can coach.
Yeah.
He can coach now. He can coach.
Yeah.
Shout out DB, man.
Yeah,
shout out
DB. My guy.
DB cuts, you feel?
That's my guy.
DB cuts, man.
Yeah.
We got a chair open, brother. We got a chair open.
He's not trying to be a barber. He's trying to be a head coach. Man.
Hey, man, listen, barbers make some good money now.
No, barbers make good money, but I'm saying he's not on y'all level.
Let's bring up income now. So we're talking about haircuts and money. Quick question. You're a coach right now.
Yeah.
Obviously. Let's go to the past, actually. Let's go to the career from the beginning. You played basketball for a long time and football. Mo, go ahead and bring up the story about him being your quarterback, because nobody knows the story. Y'all do. I don't know the story like that. Go ahead.
Everybody knows Stucky is a basketball player.
I know that for sure. Hooper.
Yeah,
I gotta look at the camera. Hooper.
Super hooper.
Yeah.
And lefty too. I don't know if you know that.
I know
lefty.
that. I've seen highlights.
Making sure.
Got highlights.
Yeah. But Stucky was actually my quarterback my senior year, his junior year, because Zach was my quarterback junior year. Barry.
Gotcha.
ZB, shout out ZB. And,
ZB?
It's funny though, because his first practice ever getting bumped up to varsity, I don't know if I hope you remember this. I know you do, because I tell you this story all the time. His first practice, he came up, and I'm on the O-line, I'm sitting there, and then they put Stucky in for the first time, like in practice, right? And we're on the game field, like no pads, nothing. And
I don't know what you're about to say.
And Stucky went out there, he said, hike, and he went to hand the ball off. And when you hand the ball off, you put it in sideways, you're not gonna put it in like the ball up, And Stucky put it in like this, and he made the running back fumble. You know what I'm saying? And I just remember looking at Stucky like, man, look at this guy. Been handing balls out forever, you know what I'm saying? And then this guy comes to the varsity first snap.
Man, never just messed it up.
But I did want to know though, because I don't know this. When did you start playing quarterback?
I didn't start playing quarterback till 9th grade. So this funny story
insane.
Actually like
went undefeated too.
Went undefeated. So 9th grade trials are the first day of school. Yeah. So some 9th graders, like if they're really good, they go to the pre-summer workouts and stuff. I never did that. So I didn't even know I was gonna play football. Like I'm with Ivan, hanging out with Ivan, and we hear people talking about football workouts, football tryouts, first day of school, right? And I'm like, I'll just go. So I just had like a change of shorts like in my backpack. Didn't have cleats. Went out in there in like just some random running shoes.
Wait, but you played basketball your whole life? You never played football growing up?
I played football. No, I played football, okay. But I never played quarterback.
What'd you play?
I played like corner, receiver, like.
So you were at the athlete positions?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's crazy. But, I had a feeling.
Well, I played backup quarterback to my brother one time when we were on the same Pop Warner team. But that's about it.
That's still crazy though, because bro,
so
he was really good. I mean, think about it. He started for 4 years as a quarterback. He went undefeated freshman and sophomore year.
Yeah, at a good school too. Yeah. Timber Creek at the time was really good at football.
Our freshman team that year with him went undefeated. His JV sophomore year went undefeated, and then our junior year we lost. My senior year we lost twice.
Yeah. But he had like an arm he could throw. He could throw. He could throw.
The best record in TC history.
How did you like being a dual sport athlete? How did you balance that? Because I'm thinking right now, like I'm sure it's probably because Timber Creek was really good at basketball and football around that same time. Yeah. So like I'm sure sometimes coaches don't want to see their best player here and here. Because you get hurt, and I need you here, and like they both kind of like
we were good.
They don't always correlate. Like I know it sounds like it should work in like a match made in heaven. It's not always like that.
Well, we were good, so literally the farther we went into the playoffs, it went into basketball season. Yeah. So I remember like I was a basketball coach, and our football coach was kind of like
beat.
they would kind of butt heads like,
Yeah.
all right, y'all, we need Stucky. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's what I was saying, because I know he was really good at basketball,
yeah.
and obviously I'm hearing he's really good at football. It's like that had to be so tough to balance both sports, because like I've said this, you know that you're a coach, and I'm sure right now at JMU. JU?
Yep.
At JU, these guys, like, it's like, yo, pick a sport. Like, you don't really see dual sports athletes no more, because like, it's like, yo, I have all this money invested in you. Like, you get hurt out there, I don't have you here. And all of a sudden, like, that affects your career, because let's say it's somebody that you're developing and he's shooting outside the gym this year. Like, he's shooting amazing in practice. He goes, plays tennis, tears ACL. No one's going to see your hard work. No one's going to see what you developed. So it's like, that's cool. Like, put the racket down.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine.
Focus, yeah. So my ninth grade, it didn't really affect me that much, because I ended up actually playing ninth grade basketball for most of the ninth grade. Didn't get bumped up to varsity till the end of ninth grade season. So I actually went undefeated both football and basketball in my ninth grade, which is crazy. But then my 10th grade year, it did affect me a little bit, because that was your junior year. We went super far into the playoffs for football.
And you got bumped up.
So I got bumped up. So I'm with a football team, and this is my like real opportunity to play varsity on basketball, because since ninth grade I didn't get bumped up to the end of the season, right? So I'm backing up on football, but like I'm having so much fun with the football guys. Like our run we're doing is crazy. So I'm like, I don't
legendary team.
I'm not even like worried about basketball right now, because our football run is crazy. But then once I did get to basketball, I felt like I was a little behind in the opportunity that I could have had that season. It kind of, because you know when you join a team later, like they kind of like push you to the side almost. Like unless you do go crazy, then you
unless you're jumping out of the gym.
Exactly, and come back up. So I feel like it affected me a little bit. I still played, started some games. I had some game winners my sophomore year, but the year as a total, I felt like I didn't achieve as far as I could as, because of coming a little bit late.
We used to go crazy when Stuck used to check in. He used to go in and do something. He's like, he's a sophomore.
Sophomore year was fun though.
Yeah, it was lit. Every time he got in, it was like,
in both sports it was fun, but yeah, I feel like I could have played a little more had I been there for tryouts and like the first games and stuff like that.
And at what point did you like, because obviously for those who don't know, you play collegiate basketball. Yeah. Did you have an opportunity to play collegiate football, or was only basketball offered?
No, I had a few offers for football, but by the time I started getting football offers, I had already had like this many basketball offers. So at that time, I was like, I kind of decided I'm going basketball route. So.
Did you always love basketball more growing up?
Growing up, like in high school, I was open to playing either one.
It was QB.
Yeah, I'm QB. Like I loved it. Like once I started playing it, and
I'm playing, but you played point guard also.
Yeah, I did.
So you were point guard and QB. Yeah, so for those who don't know, those are two of the most pivotal positions. That's like those are the positions.
Yeah, you're the man.
The point guard runs the play. The QB runs the play. Like
the team.
Runs the team. That's how it goes both ways.
But I really started playing football, in high school, really because my brother. I always looked up to my brother, and he was playing football, playing quarterback. He ended up going to Wagner first and then transferred to Temple. So I was open to playing football for sure, because I wanted to be like my brother. I was like, shoot, he went to play D1 football. Shit, I could do the same thing. But it just worked out that I got more offers for basketball, so I thought that was a smarter route.
Did your let's bring this up since you got a brother, family right here. So you have mom and dad in your life.
Yep.
Okay, that's huge. The whole time while you're in school, your parents were always there, co-parenting. Were they married? Were they?
So my entire upbringing, they were married. So grew up in the same house. Both my brother and my sister all grew up in the same house. It wasn't until I went to college they divorced. But they've always come to my game, supported me, and whatever. And
question, because me and him both share this. We don't really have like a father figure in our lives. And last person we talked to, Ivan, shout out Ivan, much love. His dad, although his parents were divorced during his school, his dad was very involved. I'm guessing your dad, the uncle used to cut hair. He was involved.
Still
That's important.
Bro. Been to family functions, never met nobody.
Met the uncle.
Never met that guy. Met everybody else though.
I'm guessing because your brother plays sports. You got more siblings that play sports, or is it just you and your brother? Or?
My sister plays sports too, so she went to
both D1. All three D1.
All three D1. That's crazy.
And mom and dad too.
So like your dad was very involved.
But that was very involved.
That's amazing.
Very involved. So like growing up, a lot of times during the week he was gone working, grinding, providing for us. But on the weekends, always there, came to the games, supported us, taught us how to do things like play basketball, play football. Even though he played football, but he didn't really play sports like that, but he would figure it out how to teach us how to do it. My dad.
Okay.
That's amazing. I always say that, like, it's important, very important, especially in today's day and age. No disrespect to nobody.
Yeah.
You gotta be involved, especially because as a man, I'm gonna speak as a man.
Yeah.
Perspective, like, I think you need a mother. The nurture a mother gives you is priceless, but you need leadership from a father figure, and I think that's huge. And a lot of his success, you gotta think about it. He's a leader. He's a point guard. He's a quarterback. Those are leaders.
Yeah.
He learned that somewhere, and that was taught at home. And I think that's huge because there be so many times where it's like you're so focused on getting the money, getting the bag, and these dads forget, like, yo, that's cool, but like make a little bit less, provide a little bit less, and be a little bit more involved.
Yeah.
So I think it's huge because if you don't realize that, but outside looking in, I'm hearing leadership, leader, guidance, and that's
I look
that's
up to
huge,
my dad a
bro.
lot.
That's huge.
Hey, both of your parents are lawyers? Your mom's a lawyer too?
My mom's a lawyer, but she didn't practice, so she's really a pharmacist.
Oh,
she
really?
she has a law degree, but she never
And your parents got education, both of them.
Yeah,
That's huge.
Your
That's
your
amazing.
dad's he's still a lawyer.
He's still a
so to
lawyer.
speak. And
Right,
is it Mosley & Mosley?
Yep.
Yeah,
Mosley.
Okay. I always thought it was Mosley & Mosley because it was your mom and dad's company. That's what I thought.
That's how it originated.
Oh, okay.
Because they were supposed to, but my mom was just like, law.
Yeah, okay.
It's a little tougher, more
Yeah,
time
yeah,
consuming.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know if this is correct. I think she already had a pharmacy degree, so she just walked right into being a pharmacist.
Co-parenting is huge. Co-parenting is everything. And a lot of times you see that in today's day and age where like people kind of have kids at an early age and immediately just like, I don't like you.
Yeah, separate.
And like they start hating on each other. And it's like, I always say this, I have a kid, so I could speak on this. You guys don't have children yet. But like half of that child is your significant other. So if you hate your significant other, you hate half of that child. And now you're not gonna treat that kid with 100% love, only 50% love. And it's important to co-parent and get along. And I just see that so much now, bro, all these people. So I think when I hear people like this, Ivan, people like these stories coming up, it's like you can tell when someone's parented their children, when someone had guidance. And their parents both went through the education path. You obviously went to D1, we just spoke on that. What did you go to school for and did you finish your education? There's no right or wrong answer.
I finished my education, but I went so originally my degree was in communication.
Okay.
But when I transferred, I ended up changing it just because I wanted to graduate on time. So my actual degree that I got it in was public policy and administration. So obviously I don't use that much now. I played overseas and now I'm coaching. But when I was a grad assistant, I got my master's in business administration. So I have that as well. So if I ever want to, transition into something out of basketball, start my own business, I have those tools to do that.
That's
part of
that's dope.
The reason why I chose that route.
That's dope. I think it's crazy because Mo and I are barbers.
Yeah.
So we don't have a collegiate degree per se, right?
Yeah.
Technically we have our barber license that we went to school for, but we don't have a collegiate degree per se. But I think it's dope to always have that. Like my son, I'm gonna have his school paid for.
Yeah.
I mean, if he wants to go to school, cool. If he don't, doesn't bother me. Like
that's something that I learned too. Like the school route, especially kind of nowadays, it's important. It's important. It opens doors for sure, especially if you don't know what you're doing. You could go to school, figure it out your first couple of years when you're taking general education, then focus on something that you could, do as a career path, right? But there's also benefits to what y'all did, starting in your profession earlier. So now, so now y'all are like experts in all things barbers, all things barbershops, all things.
Masters, brother, masters.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all experts, like you literally like masters. Y'all mastered it. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all started so young. So there's definitely benefits to that. And there's sometimes, especially for student athletes, I tell this to our players all the time, like y'all have to outwardly seek what you want to do outside of basketball, because the people that you're in competition with in real life, once the basketball stops bouncing, they're ahead of you because they're doing internships, they're doing interviews, they have jobs, they're doing these things while you're just playing basketball. You don't have time to do that.
The only luck you got is if that company boss is a huge fan of that team that you played for.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And that leads me to, that's why I always tell them, like, yo, y'all, that's y'all I guess, weakness or what it is, like the downside of playing of playing basketball. But the upside is all the boosters, like you need to like all the people you have connections with. Have a good face. You need to have like make sure you have their numbers because for these 4 years they love you and they'll do whatever they need for you. So you need to build those connections. So at that time, whenever there is a time when you stop playing basketball, that's your advantage.
And you're before you get to that question, you already know. I see the question coming. I see the turning. Hey, D-Wade threw at me like this. I see the question coming. You see like so stucky. But before we get to that question, just real quick, because this is a jewel, a gem. Your net worth is your network, 100% of the time. I don't care how great you are at something. If nobody knows, bro. Nobody knows. Go ahead, man.
So young, stop. You know what I'm saying? Since you were talking about, obviously, the ball stopped dribbling, I like to say the ball goes flat, right? So even though I did want to get into your professional career and stuff, but I know it was a big decision for you because you could have kept playing.
Yeah.
So when you deflated your own ball, you know what I'm saying? When the ball went flat for you, how was that for you? Was it tough? Was it just what was it? You know what I'm saying?
No, it was a tough time. It's a big decision. Like I most of my college career, I'm thinking I'm gonna play professionally for how many years? Like till I can't anymore.
As long as you can. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So making that decision was tough, but ultimately, I think, especially right now, it put me in positions for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Making that decision early, because some people
you got a head start on coaching.
Exactly. Some people, play overseas or linger a little too long, and then just like what I was saying earlier, when you come back, you're at beginner stage. Yeah. Like the people your age are in like CEO positions now, like they're running companies, they already climbed their ladder, and you're just starting. So unless you're making like life-changing money overseas, I thought it was best for me to come back, be closer to my family. Because it's tough over there. Like I'm missing birthdays. I'm missing my nephew being born.
And you by yourself?
In
foreign country.
I'm by myself. Yeah. Like I mean, I can make friends. I feel like I could live anywhere, honestly.
Yeah. But you proved it.
But yeah, it's tough. It's tough, like being away from your family that long, like missing everything, and then you come back and trying to make up for it in like a couple months. Like hang out all the time. Like I'm like, yo, what are we doing? Like I'm trying to hang out with you. You're like, bro, I have work tomorrow. Like I'm tired. I'm trying to get all my time in 2 months. You know what I'm saying? So
you got 2 days. What we doing? He's like, hey, man, I'm tired, man.
Yeah, hey, bro, it's Tuesday, bro.
Yeah, Tuesday, exactly. It's like it's Taco Tuesday. Yeah, it's Taco Tuesday.
He's like, it's too late. Mo's like, it's too late Tuesday. And Mo always goes to sleep at 9 o'clock, by the way.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
This Mo now, by the way.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
I'd be like, I can only imagine he's just like, hey, brother, give me a sec.
Dog, when I phone call, man, when my phone rings and I'm in bed, dog, I'd be sick. I gotta answer depending. Especially if you call me twice, I'm gonna answer the second time. All right.
Yo, the career. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So you finished playing college ball. How do you go play overseas? What was the connect? Did you have a manager, an agent? What happened there?
So we pretty much lived together during that process.
We did, yeah. So I had a few agents would come to my games and like talk to me after the games, go out to dinner, whatever. And from there, I kind of chose my agent that I was going with, and ended up going overseas. So yeah, that's pretty much how that happened. I had a few agents reach out to me that summer. And I actually got to go to Vegas for like during the summer league and have a workout in front of like all the NBA teams through that one agency. I was a little nervous, but I mean, once you start playing, it's nerves go out.
See, I love basketball. I gotta coach you. I love basketball. Like that's
love basketball.
I
didn't watch one snap of the NBA finals.
Yeah, I love basketball.
I didn't watch one dribble of the finals.
I love basketball so much that I know that there are levels to it.
Like he
you
wants
know what
your
I'm saying? Like I love basketball, right? And because I love basketball, I see great hoopers all the time. All the time. Like he's from Orlando, Florida. It's huge talent out here. That it's like you go somewhere else and it's hard. And people think it's like, bro, it's only 20 people in the NBA? Something like 316. That's it. It's not that many people. Ridiculous. So just to be in that room to be able to work out, it's like that alone helps your resume out to go play overseas. Yeah. Because they got a guy out there overseas trying to make it in his country. This guy just tried out in Vegas during a summer run. Like let's go bring him in. So that, I'm sure that alone helps your resume as well. When you went overseas and you started playing overseas, it's a whole different tempo of what we have here in America, right?
It's a different game. It's a lot more pick and roll reads than up and down, fast pace type things. So you kind of have to really know.
They still kind of play like old school, right?
This is going to happen. What you say?
They still kind of play like an old era of basketball.
It's a little older. It's a little
compared to how we play now in America.
It's definitely a different style. It's definitely a different style for sure. There's a little adjustment there, but once you're over there and you're spending the practice time watching the game, you really have to the best thing you could do as a rookie overseas is to watch European basketball. Like if you're over there and you're watching NBA basketball, the transition is going to be longer. It's going to be tougher.
I'll give you an example.
You need really to watch like EuroLeague basketball.
Yeah, you know who Luka is, right? You know Luka.
Yeah, of course.
Luka was the most screened player in the NBA this year. I think it's like 1, 2, something like 3, like most screened. That means like literally like
screen him every time.
Every time, every play down.
Pick and roll after pick and roll after
That's
pick and roll.
literally like you watch Euro basketball and it's so slow because of that. Because everything's a pick and roll or a pick and pop or a pick and screen, swing out pick. Like it's like screen. That's how they play basketball.
It's really like the pure basketball. Like you're really trying to get the
like
best shot.
Like the Spurs against the Spurs.
Every time you get the ball on the opposite end, you're trying to get the best shot every time. In NBA, sometimes you have people going ISO like, oh, it's my turn. I'm shooting step back 3, whatever.
Quick question. So being overseas, I know that's a way different world out there, and you played in different countries. Did you kind of lose love for the game playing it? Did you, because you're by yourself, no family, that like, was the game kind of taking a toll on you in a sense?
I didn't lose love for the game, but everything around it makes you question like, yo, do I really want to do this for this much longer or whatever? Because I mean, there's some spots that you go to, I'm not going to, trash any spots, but there's some spots that you go to, it's like not like what you're used to, or not anything that you find enjoyable.
The nightlife, anything.
Sometimes you just get unlucky. Like really, it's a luck of the draw. Like you're rolling the dice when you go out there because you don't know nobody out there. You're going off what your agent says. So you could end up somewhere and then you hate the city, you hate the food, you hate the nightlife. Like there's nothing to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
not what you're accustomed to.
Or it go reverse, or you hate the basketball in that certain place. You hate how the coaches coach. You hate the players that with you, and sometimes the players hate you. So like it's tough.
Did you ever play anywhere where there was a different language more like dominant on the team?
Everywhere.
Oh really?
Everywhere.
So like even what about the players talking to each other on the court and stuff too?
So most of them speak like a little bit of English or. Some of them do speak English, or there's players on the team that speak English that will translate for you. But pretty much everywhere I played, there's players that don't really speak English or don't really understand that much. So you're like, hey, tell him this. Or the coach has to talk to the assistant coach to talk to you. Like that happens.
That's crazy.
You know what's crazy? Outside looking in, think perspective. Those guys are trying to make it in their country. They don't want to see us American come over.
Yeah. No, that's what
you know what I mean? Like, there's no way.
There's a lot of times
your own teammates be like trip.
Like there's like you go over there, you're getting paid more than them on their team in their country.
That's
so
crazy.
inherently they just like don't like it.
Like just imagine the concept of setting a screen. They're setting a screen for you, right? And they're like, I'm not gonna set a real screen. Figure it out. So they dive early, and now you're on a double. You're like, oh shoot. They're like, pass it to me. You have to, right? Because you're a point guard. You like, they switch happened. And now he's on a double because the guy slid too early, and he's like, pass it to me. And what are you supposed to do? Pass it.
And then it's funny when you're still cooking though. They just,
not 100%. I'm sure. But I'm thinking perspective.
You hope that you land somewhere where they're professional enough to do their job.
They want to win.
And that doesn't.
I never thought of it that way. Until you said this, I've never thought of it that way.
There's also dudes that like they hate you, but they're professional enough to not affect the job.
Because it affects them too.
Is there a rule like I know in Canadian football? There's like you have to have a certain amount of Canadians on the team. Is there a rule like that?
Yeah, in every country there's like you can only have a certain amount of imports, which our was like Americans would be.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Shout out to BSN. Shout out BSN. I'm Puerto Rican. So,
What's BSN?
Baloncesto Superior Nacional. Baloncesto Superior Nacional.
Sí,
it's Puerto Rico.
It's
Puerto Rico's basketball league, and they had DeMarcus Cousins there. They had
Puerto Rican league is nice.
Yeah, they actually play really good basketball because
is that where your boy played or not?
Willie. Shout out Willie. Willie Rodriguez.
You know Willie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play the East River?
Yeah.
So, you know.
My guy Bacon's playing in Puerto Rico right now.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Puerto Rico style of basketball is like up and down, up and down. So pros like it because it's you know, beautiful island, beautiful people, good food, good culture.
Yeah.
They speak English. They love our culture in America.
And they play similar style.
They play very similar, and it's just kind of like, and it's crazy because my mindset right now is like, man, like Puerto Rico's trying to pass this thing where they get more American players because right now technically we're technically American, right? Yeah. So they're like, why can't we have more American players? Right now they're limiting you to like 3, and they're like, yo, bro, there's teams with mad bread. Like Bad Bunny owns a team. Yeah. You know, Anuel recently, Osuna owns a team. Yeah. Like these guys are wealthy, bro. They're worth millions and millions. They can afford to pay you effective money right there. Yeah. Imagine then your owner's worth $200 million. He's like, bro, I'm worth 200 US. Like I can send you the money right now. Yeah. So it's like, it's funny you say that because I'm like, man, imagine if they opened up and had, you know, out of 12 roster, you know, hey, 6 could be American. That would change the game completely from Puerto Rico.
But then you add those more, every American you add, you just take away from one of the Puerto Rican.
I know, but at this point, they leaving the island. You heard? So I'm like, hey, man, what?
Who's leaving the island?
Puerto Ricans.
Oh, yeah.
Like our island's like deflated, but it's in a whole nother podcast. But 100%, like I just think it would take basketball to the next level. And we got a lot of great, bro. I'm telling you, we got great Puerto Rican players that play here, bro. That just don't play over there. Like it's like a frustration. I'm like, dang, I kind of want to play with some pros. I got to build my career. I can't build my career with just Puerto Ricans over there. No disrespect. It's just not the same. Where it's like, oh, if there's 6 Americans, let me go over there real quick. Let me go play a season out there. And now he's next to DeMarcus Cousins and so. Maybe Dwight and DeMarcus on the same team. It's like 4 or 5 Americans. Now he's showcasing with American players. They're like, hey, come play for us. But until then, they're like, you play great against Puerto Ricans. You see what I'm saying? It sounds messed up, but it's like, you play great against.
You saying like there's no competition, like we don't know how really good you are.
You know, to me, the basketball in America is so, you know, overseas is amazing, but it's just so much skill. Talking about skill, because you're a player development coach, how much skill do you see now compared to when you were a young man? Because you're old. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 28.
28, okay. So basketball changed a lot, you know? So I'm sure when you get like a 18-year-old, you see him in the bag and you be like, oh.
Yeah, so there's 2 sides of it. There's kids are a lot more developed, like skill-wise. Like they could handle better. They could shoot deeper, make shots, do things that they, like previous years, they haven't been able to do, like certain moves, right? But there's also an aspect of
too many moves
to the point where kids are like playing for highlights. Yeah. Like they play the game to make highlights plays so they can post it.
So they're not even playing like team
to be fair, the elite teams like the EYBL teams, these Adidas circuit teams, Puma teams, all those elite teams, most of them have good enough coaches on their staff.
Control that behavior.
So they're not dealing with that. But growing up till they get to there, like you go out there and see some youth basketball, like kids like 7 years old, they're doing wild stuff out there. Yeah.
I know.
Just trying to shoot it from half court, air ball. Trying to be Steph Curry, like stuff like that.
Basketball.
So you see some of it, but if they have good enough coaching and good enough like
I've seen that. I've seen like I've
people
gone
that know the game around them. Then
I got a buddy of mine. He has a kid who's 10, and I've gone to his games, and like he's pretty good. He's like a 6 foot 10-year-old. So like he plays guard. Yeah, he's like 5'11". So he plays guard. He comes down. He comes down, and he's crazy. He's crazy. Out the cameras, put you on. So look, he comes down. He can play, but sometimes he'll be like wide open, and I've seen it where it's a lay. It's a left-hand lay. He floater. There's no one there. It's a layup floater. I'm like bang back iron. I'm like, look, I love the floater.
Yeah, just get a layup. Yeah, make the layup.
Pick up, one step. You still got another one to go, but layup, and he just floater. And I be telling his dad, like, man, I love the floater, but you gotta tell him to get to the cup. Like your first play should be to the cup. Your second play is a floater. Your third play is a shot. That's how you should play basketball. At least for me, transition-wise. Like not everybody can shoot like Steph Curry. That's the other thing.
The other side.
Every time we play basketball, Mo be like, "Let me shoot this." I'm like, get in the post.
Actually shoot though.
I know.
Thank you. He's not
bad.
Did Mo ever tell you the story when we were playing outside?
Nah, we went crazy.
I'll tell you this
real quick story.
Wait, tell me that.
Quick story. I bought a hoop outside my house. This is back in the day where everybody used to come to my house.
Okay, say less. Before or after the haircuts?
This is after the haircut.
Okay, say less.
Like, this is when I live with Ivan.
This is the
Ivan and Zach.
Okay,
so I bought a
less.
hoop.
Yeah.
And we're playing pitch black at night with street lights on, right? We're playing outside. And we play King of Court. You know King of Court 2, right? So it's me and Stuck. And we started first. And I think the first shot, I just threw it up there, boom, wet. Got him off the court, right? Because everybody's worried, like, oh man, you got Stucky, it's not fair, right? So they really worried about Stuck, you know what I'm saying?
I was just feeding Mo.
Bro,
like,
I'm talking
crazy.
about, there was probably like 5 teams total counting us. I think we swept them 3-4 times, like in a row. It was like, bro, we won literally 15 games in a row.
And the best part is beating your friends.
Oh, it was the best. Because it was me though. I was the MVP. I'm not even lying, right?
I'm saying, but I'm saying, look, he knew he could probably beat everybody with he's lefty with his right hand. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right hand, but you could probably throw some hooks in there.
I was just wide open.
But it's like seeing your best friend beat everybody else probably was the best feeling. Like,
I was just hyping him up. Like, Mo, go crazy.
I remember when it was over, I was like, yo, I don't know how them was going in like that. That was kind of crazy.
Hilarious. Yo, question.
The confidence, man.
Yeah, confidence is everything. Question. Now you're coaching. Okay, and I'm a big believer in coaching is so hard. But knowing that you were a leader, for me, I never knew you played point guard and quarterback. Yeah. Knowing you were a leader for so long, and now you have a chance to lead these young men into a better position in life. Do you feel like you're finding passion in that? Maybe some purpose in that? Can you see yourself doing this long term? Because we don't know what tomorrow holds, but if you were to plan it ahead.
Yeah, I definitely plan on doing it long term. My goal is to be a head coach one day.
Amen.
So I could do that, but I definitely find passion in what I do. So if I feel like now, just getting hired full time feel like it's starting to all come together. And some of the mistakes that I made coming up, like when I was playing or in school or playing overseas, I feel like I could use those mistakes to teach the guys that I'm coaching. So I feel like I didn't just make those just to make them, like they were for a reason, so I could give this knowledge back that I have and see them grow and see them not make the pitfalls that I made, you know? So that's really my purpose, and that's what I feel like I'm doing right now, and that's what my passion is.
That's facts. Is this year 3 you're going into?
This is year 3, yeah.
Coaching?
That's amazing.
And they've all been at JU, right?
All been at JU,
nice,
yeah.
Nice.
I think,
shout out JU.
Who's the head coach? I always forget his name.
Coach Missy.
That was
Jordan
the guy.
Missy, yeah.
He's the one that gave you your first opportunity, right?
Yeah, so I knew Coach Missy. That's funny you remember that.
Yeah, because you got coached by him back then.
Yeah, so I knew Coach Missy since I was like 17. He recruited me to University of Toledo, but he ended up leaving. I ended up transferring. But we always stayed in contact, and that's kind of how I got into coaching at JU, because he got the head coaching job. He coached at Florida for a number of years, then got the head coach job at Jacksonville University. And then we've always been in contact, and once I was going through what I was going through overseas, I'm like, yo, it's time to get into coaching. He was like, let's go.
And it's crazy, that goes back to network, whatever you said. His coach that recruited him when he was 17. Imagine if he would have been a little annoying kid, you know, like a kid that didn't care about anything, whatever, played like that because he's a kid getting recruited. He's given his first opportunity.
That's
you know
why
what I'm
I keep like reiterating that every time. I tell people like, yo, your network is your net worth. And it's like sometimes you don't realize that, like I've lost friends and opportunities because I was a version of me that wasn't a good version. I know your story, you know my story. So it's like, you know, these kids like, yo, be the best version of yourself. Because if God forbid you tear an ACL out there and he becomes a head coach somewhere, you have an opportunity to be an assistant coach or to be a player development coach. It's like, if you remember him as a troublemaker, you're not gonna pick up the phone from him.
Bro.
You're gonna be like, click,
and
click.
That happens too. Being on the other side, you can see dudes calling trying to get into business, and we were like, yo, he was the worst.
Yeah, we didn't mention this. He went to Toledo and then he went to JMU. So how long did you go to Toledo for?
2 years.
Wait, JMU and JU 2 different schools.
Yeah, JMU was in Virginia, James Madison University.
Gotcha. That's why I could.
JU was Jacksonville University. Yeah.
But
Jacksonville University.
Real quick, why'd you leave Toledo? Because you started there?
Yeah, I started there. So it was a mix of the play on the court wasn't exactly what I was looking for or how I expected it to be. And it was a mix of, I wanted to be closer to home too. I ended up going to Virginia, which wasn't that much closer. But like I said earlier, the coach that recruited me, Coach Missy, when I got there, he ended up taking another job. He went to Louisiana Tech.
Your sophomore year, he ended up leaving?
No, he left right before I even went there.
Oh, so you never even got coached by him?
I never got
He just
coached
recruited you.
He recruited
and he gave him his first job. That's crazy. Never even coach stuck, so really don't even, you know, that's crazy.
So when I got there, and I still had a great relationship with all the coaches, but it wasn't like mine.
You didn't know them. That wasn't the,
yeah. Shout out my dog Booth, man.
So yeah, shout out Nathan Booth, man.
I remember you, dog.
I watched all the games, man. And he was a big fan of Booth. He loved Booth.
I don't know who's that. Who's that? Power forward.
He played like center power forward.
Love that guy. He was elite. Nathan Booth, dog. He was crazy.
One of the best bigs I ever played
with.
He
was nasty. He's still playing?
Yeah, he's still playing overseas. I think he's in Japan or somewhere right now. But yeah, that's probably the main reason. Like, I had a special connection with Coach Missy, and that's kind of the reason why he got me to go from Florida to Ohio, and then he left. Yeah. So I was like, what's going on?
And why JMU?
So I told you why I left because of the relationship. Yeah. I knew Coach Rowe, who was the head coach at JMU. I knew him since I was like 16. Because he was actually, I don't know if you remember this, but I got my first offer in spring football, like my first basketball offer. I had a tournament and then we started spring football.
Sounds familiar.
And I got my first offer from Rider University in New Jersey, and Coach Rowe was the assistant coach there. So when I was transferring, fast forward a few years later, he got the head coaching job at James Madison. So when he called, I was like, yeah, it's familiar. I know you. I know what to expect.
And ended up being a great decision.
Yeah,
you loved it. Everything.
Yeah, I love JMU.
I mean, I went and visited out there. It was amazing. I saw him. He balled out. It was a great time.
Yeah.
The day you have kids, let's say you have a young stuff, right? A young stuff, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you have a version that can play multiple sports. Do you allow him to play multiple sports, or do you try to just hold them on to one so he could be great at it? Because I mean, I love multi-sport athletes.
Play football.
I ask.
Like Tom Brady.
Because he could have gone the other way too. He could have played football. Maybe you'd have been in the league as a quarterback. Maybe not.
It's possible.
I did want to ask.
Maybe you would have torn the ACL freshman year, God forbid, and been like
I did want to ask,
CTE or maybe not.
Do you feel like
you never know? I'm being honest, bro. I love football. My favorite sport is boxing. I got a son. Nasty left foot.
Would never let him play.
I love basketball, but boxing, like if you could put a Puerto Rican in any room, a boxer walks in and we all stop and just salute.
So you're watching boxing over football the rest of your life?
Every time.
Over the rest of your life?
Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia versus Fight 6. I'm watching it
too.
I love boxing.
All you hoopers love boxing for some reason.
I love the stars in boxing. I'll be honest. I don't watch the preliminary rounds of boxing.
But I like the come up in boxing is really hard. Like the boxing journey is crazy work. You're in a room with another 100 fighters and you're 14 years old and you're trying to get into the next step of it, and then you're 15, then you're 16, then you get to golden gloves, maybe junior golden gloves, and you work your way up. It's really tough. The boxing journey,
fight your way up.
The guys, when you see those guys make it, those guys went through nationals, through states. Like it's you against someone else. No one else. Yeah.
You have to be crazy.
But let's bring it more to the story. They're crazy.
Go crazy on somebody that did nothing wrong.
They're insane. But you're kind of a little bit loose. I wouldn't put my son in boxing. You get what I'm saying? I wouldn't put him in boxing. So dangerous. But it's not. It's dangerous, but it's not. But it's really, it comes down to, because you're only worried, like in football, you get sidelined. You get from the side, from behind.
Not anymore, but you can.
But you can't always. And in football, some guy could slip as he's trying to tackle you, hit your ACL. In boxing, it's here. It's here.
You can get hurt in football.
I'm just saying, boxing is here, and my goal is to teach you how to defend yourself. So you're only seeing what's in front of you. Maybe he moved, you get to pivot.
Yeah,
in
but
in football, all of a sudden,
somebody that could knock your head off your shoulders.
But the goal is this is where but this is where it comes back to it.
I'm talking about boxing.
This is where it comes back to it. You say
football too.
You said multi-sports, and this is where I'm bringing this up.
Yeah.
At one point, do you tell your kid, like, hey man, cut it. It's time to focus on school. Like,
I'm not letting my kid do boxing.
Okay, but I'm saying football.
I'm not letting my kid do
that. You're not letting your kid do boxing either, though.
What?
You're not letting your kid do boxing. Stop playing.
Hey, look.
Even if he got that.
Hey, if my wife's watching this, hey man, you better pray that punching bag don't get delivered this weekend. You know what I'm saying? that boy got to live hood. But at what point do you see a child or at your coach, and you're like, man, this kid sucks? I'm not saying there's anyone like that on your team, or you've gone through that.
They can't be. They're a D1 player.
But or do you feel like, he's not it? Have you gone through that at all?
No, I mean,
that's probably such a hard moment.
You go through that every year. That's why you have so much roster changes at colleges, right? Because some kids don't fit some kids don't do what you're looking for them to do at their position, so you try to find someone that can do that. You know, that happens. But if you try to put them in a position where they can be successful, so if this is not working, well, let's try you at the small forward position. If you can't bang with the bigs at the power forward position, you know, you just try things where hopefully you could get the best out of them, right? But if you try multiple things and they're not working, then it's just not a fit, and you have to go from there.
From what he's saying and like his demeanor, I'm getting the vibes that passion leads your career right now. It's not money, right? Which is huge, because a lot of times we like, oh, but the money gotta be right, and that's when you just kind of lose yourself, and you wake up and you're 40 years old and you're in a high school gymnasium because you thought this was the best thing for you, and it's like if you would have just stuck with like, you know, your passion, you would have been a D1 coach at the very worst. You know what I'm saying? So it's like right now I could just see you're led by passion, which is huge. So yeah, no comments on that's amazing. Yeah. Keep that going, bro. Keep that going, because passion, I tell everybody, passion will lead you to purpose, and purpose will lead you to success. And I tell everybody, bro, like when you start, let me get the money, or let me go here instead because they're paying more. Like take a little bit less here because it's gonna be worth it in 3 or 4 years. Yeah. The bag's gonna come. Coaching until you notice the bag in college, the bag gonna come.
Yeah, that's our head coach said something similar. I like what you just said, that passion leads to purpose, which leads to success. Yeah, success. I like that too.
Leads to that bag.
Our coach also said something kind of similar. He's like, don't chase money, chase success. In terms of like when you see coaches leave to go to a different job or whatever, some coaches go to where they get paid the most, but some coaches go to the best situation where they know they could win, and then the money's going to come. So it's kind of similar to what you said, though. I draw the parallel.
And you're still so young, bro. Like, and no disrespect. Like, you're in great shape still. So like when we look at certain people, you can tell like, man, he might live to 55. Like he got diabetes. God forbid. You can tell. I know I said I'm not trying to, but I'm being honest. Like God forbid, diabetes and high blood pressure. A lot of that you get from the way you eat, your diet, your health. So it's like obviously you have a long path ahead, bro. So I always like to ask this question. You know what I'm saying? 15 years ago, so you're 28. You probably were like 13 or something like that.
15, yeah.
Am I off here, like around there?
Yeah.
You were about to start high school.
Bro, as Willie.
15,
no, it's 13. Yeah, 13.
13. That was, come on, hey,
math magician right here.
So you were about 13 years old, and at that point you were about to start high school, I'm guessing, or usually that's like around that age. Like you're like
8th grade.
8th or something like that, right? You had no knowledge of what you have now. If I always tell people this, if you had a chance to go back in time, this is an easy question. Would you take the knowledge with you?
Yeah, of course.
100%, right?
100%.
So now let's just go ahead and say 15 years from now, if you can just continue to apply what you're doing today, imagine how much more successful you're gonna be. So you can't waste time at this point, right? And I think that's just like a concept of time people sometimes lose. It's like you blink and time is gone. And it's like if you can just take every day and apply that knowledge that you have right now, that's fruitful knowledge, it's amazing knowledge, and just keep going at it, bro. The amount of success you're gonna have, it's just gonna be like overload. Like it's gonna be so fruitful. So.
And that's a great point, because a lot of times people think like, man, if I could just go back, I'd change this, and this, because I know this now.
Stuck in the past.
But what you're saying is, but the future, what you know now, you can use that to make your future better. So that's a good point. Like people always think about changing the past, but you can use what you know now to change your future.
And sometimes they get stuck in the present because of that. Like, they get stuck here. And it's like, me and you always talk about this. Like, we got to live in today. We got to have fun today. We got to have family time. But you got to like, remember, like, bro, you got to plan for tomorrow. God willing, he gives you more days on this earth. Like, make the best out of them. And I think that's amazing that you coach, because it's like, so many young men need guidance, bro. And it's like, you don't realize how much you could change someone's. I'm sure you do, but when I say you, I mean in general. We don't realize how much you could change one person's life.
Well, I didn't realize that till I got into coaching, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. Once I got into coaching, I'm like, okay, I can see the work that you're putting in real time. You can see the changes in the young men that you're coaching and see how they carry themselves different. Or on the court, you can see the drills and how they're working and how their shots getting better, how their basketball reads are getting better.
Have you ever ran into, and I'm only bringing this up because I know that you had good parenting, and I'm pro good parenting, bro. So have you ever like ran into a kid? I mean, it's only been 3 years, I'm sure. But I just want to ask a question that you're kind of like, man, I could tell your daddy wasn't there. I can tell you. I know it sounds messed up. Like, we go through this all the time. You know this. At the barbershop. At the barbershop, we go through this. We go through this with clients. Yeah. We're like, but we don't want to hurt no feelings. And we're just like, boy, you need your daddy in your life.
They be telling stories like.
I'm not trying to say that like in a bad way, but
that happens in every career, every field, every walk of life, where you see people that are like.
But they can be successful at basketball, though. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They can be successful at basketball, and you just like.
It's like anything. Somebody could be a really great barber and just like have no people skills when people are in the chair. Like
just
they cut elite, but like their social cues are just
rude to their clients.
I feel like growing up, like those coaches in my life, those coaches in your life, they helped us like find some sort of guidance. Whether you played 2 years AAU, you know, you played high school football for 3 years. Like some people ain't play Pop Warner their whole life. They just only play high school football. And those 3 years impacted that kid's life. You know, they didn't have a chance to play Pop Warner. They didn't have a chance to play travel ball. And all of a sudden they got decent talent. They played 3-4 years, you know, and all of a sudden like their lives have changed from one coach giving 2 or 3 years to his life.
And that's what coaches
in spurts, bro, because you're not getting coached all year, bro. You get coached during the school season, season of football.
And that's what coaching is about, though. Like you're supposed to impact the people that you're coaching, and sports is the perfect example because it parallels life. Like you get out what you put into it.
When did you realize you wanted to coach? Like I know you made the decision during, but like when did you realize that I want to coach one day?
I always wanted to coach. So
you knew you were gonna be a coach?
No matter how long I ended up playing professionally, I always wanted to come back to being a coach. Yeah.
You're a leader, bro.
Quarterback, point guard. At any level. To be honest, I wanted to coach high school for the longest. I wanted to coach like an AU team. Like I wanted to coach.
AU gotta be
anything,
so hard, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like what you're doing right now is amazing. You could probably do AU eventually, but bro, AU is so hard, bro.
AU is hard.
These kids, bro, it's
different. It's different.
How old is the youngest coach?
Everything's different, bro.
The coach of the Celtics.
No, in college. You want to be a college or you want to do NBA or?
I want to be a college head coach first, and if where it goes from there, you know.
Do you know who's the
I
youngest?
go crazy
head coach right
and pop. What'd you say?
Who's the youngest head coach in college right now?
I have no idea.
I don't know, but I'm sure it's young, bro.
I'm curious to know what the number, what the age is.
The age is a number.
I know Coach Mitchell was one of the youngest, like when he first started coaching 4 years ago. I think he's 37 right now.
The guy that was with the Gators?
Yeah.
I think it's tough because it's like if like, let's say your goal is to be like, I'm not saying this is a goal, but let's say someone's goal is to be like the youngest head coach, right?
And then you don't get that.
And then let's say you do make it though. Let's say you make it at 25 as the youngest head coach. You don't have experience in life yet. You're going to fail. And now you're the coach who lost the most. Because
it happens.
I'm not trying to be like that.
Every coach, as soon as you get there, you're going to fail at something.
It's opportunity. Like let's say your first chance of being a head coach is at 41. But man, that boy going to run. 3 years, take a team from Cinderella story. It's like, yo, that bag at 41 is going to be 10 times the bag you got at 25.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't realize that it's just like, it's like the concept of, my boy told me this the other day. He said, ride the wave. And I said, hey, yo, what you mean by that? He said, bro, it's the ocean. The ship. You're going to have moments that the ship is sailing so smooth, you don't even realize you're on the ship. You just passed out. And the storm comes, you're like, you just like, well, what's going on? And it's like, you got to just ride the wave. You got to ride. You got to kind of go through the storm. I think that's probably the craziest thing, bro.
It's crazy that you said that because that's actually our girls' women's team's
ride the wave
slogan. Yeah, ride the wave. Because you know where Dolphins are.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
Hard,
yeah, that's hard. But it's hard, bro. I'm telling you. Every time I look at this, I'm like, man, like I see it with young people in our careers. They just want success so fast they quit cutting hair, but they were good.
Yeah.
You're like, bro, why'd you quit?
The problem is
like,
a lot of people look at the.
You have to put the time in to be successful at anything.
Yeah, a lot of people look at social media, bro, and then they hop into anything, any game, when I say game, I mean barber game, anything, basketball, and it's what they're living is not that celebrity barber, that booked everyday barber, making 6-figure barber. They're not that. So you step in that week one and you're sitting there all day not cutting nobody, bro. Like, you're just sitting there like.
You got to build a clientele first.
I really just went to school for this. I just told everybody on social media this is what I'm going to do, you know what I mean? And then you don't got that dog in you to fight through those slow days and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying?
That's part of it with anything. Like you have to put the work in.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this because we gotta go ahead and give you your flowers for this, bro. Like I think it's dope that you're willing to coach at this age and deal with the headaches that there are in coaching. And the fact that you know what you're passionate about, the fact that you know what you want to pursue, the fact that you are trying to chase your purpose in life. That's another thing too. Chasing your purpose can happen you can find it in 1 day, 2 days, you can find it in 10 years. The fact that you're kind of like already on that path, bro. Hey man, props to that, bro.
Hey, I appreciate that,
That's tough, man. And I hope these kids watch this and listen and begin to understand, like, you did play overseas, you were successful, and you have a big story to tell to these kids, bro. Because there's no better feeling than knowing that you could change somebody's life.
And that's really where I got into it at the time I did, is because I know, because I'm so close in age to some of the players that I coach, that they already listen to me, already look at me different than if I was like 40 years old, trying to tell them like, yo, this is how you should live your life. I'm like, yo, I did that like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're going through. So like, it's, they look at it a different way, and
from
also,
the same era in a sense as well.
I wouldn't say the same era. It's a little. They're the Instagram era now, bro. It is a little different. So we had this, like we said, we talked about earlier. We had Instagram in high school. They're growing up on Instagram, but it's still close enough to where, like, I've been through the same things that they've been through, and I've been in places that they're trying to reach. So I could give them guidance on how to get there, and stuff to avoid.
Yeah, man. As far as giving you your flowers, bro, you're one of my best friends, dog.
Dog,
I love you, bro. And I'm super proud of you, bro. Like,
I appreciate that.
He's always been a guy that kept a clean face. I've never seen Stucky in trouble, bro. I've never seen Stucky in any type of altercation with anybody. He's a chill dude. He's funny, bro. This is young Stuck, you know what I'm saying? And I'm really proud of you, bro. I'm not surprised I'm where you are, and I've always told you, bro, I know you're gonna be. I can't wait for the day you're a head coach. I'm taking full advantage. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait.
You're front row.
Yeah, I cannot wait till it's your building. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait for that day. I know it's coming. I'm just so proud of you, man. Seriously.
Appreciate you, man. I love you, dog.
Hey, I also want to say this, and again, I'm not trying to like throw nobody under the bus. No disrespect here. I'm a man of faith. You know what I'm saying? He's a man of faith. And obviously we know that you're a man of faith. People don't realize, like, if you feel lost in this world, you can find faith. And faith does sometimes help lead to purpose. Every now and then, you don't gotta be a perfect Christian or a perfect Muslim or a perfect, Jew or whatever. I feel like personally, you have to really just try, because that can help you. Sometimes that's the pivotal moment in your life, bro. You find that 1 second of faith. You find God somehow, bro. He's gonna guide you, and that's the thing I want to go ahead and tell you. It's like, man, just anytime you feel like it's overwhelmed, just remember, God would never put you through a moment you can't handle. And you're a leader, obviously. Again, quarterback one, point guard one. We know that you know this, but just for anyone watching, like, man, sometimes, like, God's never gonna put you through a moment you couldn't handle, bro. And that's why, I tell everybody, like, bro, find faith, find God. Like, you're struggling, like, just pray somehow. Just look up at the sky, whatever, it's like, it's tough, bro. But it's awesome, bro, that you have faith in God, bro, because I know that He's gonna keep guiding you into a super successful version of yourself. You just kind of wake up one day, you might be 29, man. With the head coaching job, you might be 42, and that's fine.
We'll see, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As long as you let Him guide you, it's His timing, it's perfect timing, bro.
No,
I heard someone tell me
that.
Someone told me, would you rather have it at your time or perfect timing?
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
Any chance, perfect timing for sure.
And even hearing that, sometimes you have to always, like, remind yourself, like, 'cause sometimes you want it your time. Don't tell me that right now. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
It's hard to wait on God's timing, honestly.
It's so hard.
It's hard sometimes because
so hard.
Sometimes you can wait 5 years for that time. It could be 10. It could be
so
1 day.
But it's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard.
But you gotta just.
It's even harder. It's even harder than when we say it. It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard, bro. It's hard.
It's tough.
That timing, bro. The older you
tell
get,
people, like,
it's rewarding and it's meaningful, and you get, like
the
you
longer
said,
it takes, the more rewarding.
you feel the purpose and you feel the reasons behind why you're doing what you're doing. It's tough though.
Stuck, before we wrap it up, I want to let you give a shout out to anybody you want. You know what I'm saying? Shout out, give them your Instagram, give them your shout out to JU. Go ahead, do your thing, man.
Anything.
Just go ahead, take your time. Any coaches, anybody?
Shout out to my players, man. Shout out to JU men's basketball. We got a big year coming up. I'm proud of the work we're putting in this summer, so excited about that. And then I want to give a shout out to my family, man. Shout out to my brother, my sisters, my nephews. Now I got a new nephew. And my niece. Just shout out to family.
Shout out Renaissance Camp, man.
Shout out Renaissance Camp,
Renaissance Camp.
Shout out, we Italian with it. Shout out Cam.
Don't forget my dog, because I want him on this pod too. I need
you okay? Hey, fuck.
Yeah,
you gonna get Cam on here.
You gotta slide
Shout out
through.
Cam, man. We need you in the O on a popular podcast.
Popular.
Pop, man. Popular by purpose, man. We appreciate y'all.
Podcast.
Listen, we appreciate y'all tuning in. It means a lot to us. We're gonna go ahead and try to keep this going every week or maybe every month. But whenever we touch down with an episode, it comes from a good place in our heart. We're led by faith and we pursue purpose. And with that being said, my boy, I appreciate you, man. Thank you again. Thank you again.
Love you, bro.
Love you, man.
Love, bro.
Appreciate y'all having me
love,
on.
Man, love.
Appreciate y'all having me
Yo,
on.
right here, man.
That was beautiful.
We doing another.
And you know,
another
sometimes we be forgetting since we new to this.
Yeah.
But we true to this. Like, comment, subscribe. You feel me?
Like, comment, subscribe. Facts.
Dancing, make it.